Good morning. This is Larry Hayward, pastor at Westminster Presbyterian Church in Alexandria, Virginia. In the world of sports fans, this time of year is called March Madness, the month during which 64 men's college basketball teams, as well as parallel madness for the women's teams, compete for the national championship. All games are one and done, which means once you lose, you're out of the tournament and your season is over. So the field quickly whittles down from 64 to 32 to 16 teams, called the Sweet 16, followed by the Elite 8, and then the Final Four. 2 nights later, the champion is crowned. A few years after I graduated from the University of Arkansas, we made it to the Final Four with players who were on the team while I was still a student there. One of whom I gave a ride home to Memphis, where we both lived. It was quite a sight to see his 6'8" frame seated next to me in my Volkswagen Bug, and literally all our stuff from that year of college loaded into the back seat. In addition, the engine died about 50 miles from home, and his father had to come and rescue us in his station wagon, and I had to go back a few days later and tow the car to a junkyard. Then my alma mater made it to the Final Four in 1994, where we won the national championship against a team some of you have heard of named Duke, whose mascot, a blue devil, I happened to meet at Westminster a few years later. I think his name was Honeycutt or something like that. The next year, we played for the championship again, but lost against UCLA, another school with a storied basketball past. Then things went dry, very dry. We've hardly been in the tournament at all, but this year we have made it to the Sweet 16. And of course, we're hoping for more. So at least for me, as this spring has come, morning has broken in the weather, in college basketball, and in the of vaccination, shall we even say nation fever. I know sports can seem shallow and diversionary from all the problems we face in the world, and even from all the opportunities that lie before us. But they are not the worst diversions available to us. And sports can bring welcome relief, or sometimes add unwanted stress to our lives. Sports can keep us sane, or sometimes make us feel we are insane. Patrick told me yesterday that one of the announcers described a game as being tohu wabohu, the Hebrew word that describes the state of things prior to God's act of creation. Without form and void is how it is translated in Genesis. This was a sophisticated sportscaster. The truth is, sometimes we like things to be chaotic, tohu wabohu, for chaos can be fun in its frightfulness and in its adventuresomeness. But at other times, chaos scares us to death. Tohu wabohu, just like a game that's gone down to the wire. I don't think Jesus used any sports metaphors. He talked about sowing seed and going on a journey and hosting a banquet. But Paul used sports metaphors all the time. He spoke of running the race, fighting the good fight, even shadowboxing. One of his most interesting letters was written to the church at Corinth, the city which hosted the Isthmian Games, the forerunner to our Olympics. As intense and as serious as Paul was, he knew the value of sports. I don't really know how to end this devotional otherwise than to echo Ecclesiastes. For everything there is a season, he writes, and a time for every matter under heaven. a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. In sports, we weep and laugh. We mourn and dance, all of which are part of being human, all of which are part of God's good blessing of creation and of us. So halftime's almost over in the game I'm watching. I better get back upstairs and watch the second half. So have a good day today and every day.